And now we're on the practical application section of the service module. So number one, what are some ways in which you are already serving others? Well, this one's easy for me because that's pretty much my whole career is in the helping professions. So everything I do as a psychologist and as a holistic health educator is ultimately focused on serving others. But also I just try to be, in my personal non-professional life, I try to be helpful and kind to everyone that I encounter as best as I can. Oh, went too far. Sorry. Are there any ways in which you have served others that have made you feel connected to your purpose and or increased your sense of compassion? For sure. Lots of things, but what comes to mind first is just walking in balance in general. The main point of walking in balance is to help us as a society, as and culturally and whatnot, to heal and to feel connected to each other, to the creator, to the earth, to other species, things of that nature, to fight back against the forces that have been draining us and that continue to try to drain us, drain our spirit. And I feel like that's my main purpose for being on the earth right now is to help with that effort, to help create a better world for us to live in and to raise kids in and all that stuff because the world we're living in right now is pretty rough and we're being pretty terrible to our beautiful planet Earth. And I would like to do my part to help fix that. And so serving through walking in balance definitely helps me feel connected to my purpose. So even when it's hard sometimes, um, doing something that makes me feel connected to that helps me to persevere through the difficult moments. And it helps me connect with a lot of people in rural Oklahoma that I otherwise would not have the chance to meet. And that's always very beautiful. All right, number three, what are some ways in which you would like to serve others more? I would like to be less of a hermit. And actually, I am loosely involved in several different communities, but always is it feels like in kind of a not very deep way. I struggle with letting people like really get to know me and me get to know them and kind of going past, the mask and things like that. So I would like to serve by actually like getting more involved deeply into at least one community would be good, instead of more of a surface level connection. Okay, and then number four, do you hold any beliefs that keep you from acting out of compassion? If so, what experiences contributed to you developing these beliefs? Yes, I do have a unfortunate belief that if I help certain people or in certain ways, that they will want more than I'm able to give and will push my boundaries, and then I won't be able to say no, and then I'll give too much, and it'll cause resentment and stress and blah blah blah. And the reason I have that belief is because that doesn't, unfortunately, has happened many times, many, many times in my life. I have the tendency to be too giving, and because I really love helping people, but sometimes I can't help in the way that I want to or in the way that they need, and then I feel bad and I overextend myself when it causes conflict. So, uh, have to work on both setting boundaries and being able to say no, and also being willing to help others, knowing that I can't, even if they do push my boundaries, I can maintain them and be able to let them know what my limits are, that I can help, but I can only help in certain ways. So instead of giving too much or avoiding it at all. All right, and then number five, do you have a tendency to give too much of yourself to others and do you not have enough left to give to yourself? What boundaries could you set to make sure you have the ability to fill your own cup? Yes, very, very, very much. I have a strong problem with people pleasing. And so what I need to do to set boundaries is to work on not people pleasing and just be honest about my capacity for helping, just to tell people up front, like, hey, I would love to help you. Here's how I can help. Here's how I can't, because this is where my limits are. And then not feeling guilty, if they do want more than I'm able to give, not feeling responsible for their emotions, um, and just helping them direct them to someone who maybe can help more and not feeling guilty about putting my own self-care first. We really are taught very much in our society to feel bad or to feel like lazy or selfish if we put ourselves before other people. And of course, it's good to be focused on helping others, absolutely. But at the same time, you can't do that in a healthy way if you are not making sure that it's just, the old saying, I'm sure you've heard a million times, you got to put on your own oxygen mask first, right? Like, I'm not going to be good service to anybody if I am, as I've learned the hard way, if I am dying myself. So, all right. And number 6, one way you can serve others at any time, even when you have limited time and resources, is to send them positive, supportive thoughts or prayers. A good time to do this is after you say your gratitude list. 7, you want to ask others how you can support them. This is especially important for other people in your household. You can help maintain the balance of your home by making sure that responsibilities are spread out instead of falling on one person. You also want to be of service in your community by helping out when you see a need. For example, if you see trash on the ground, go ahead and pick it up instead of assuming it is someone else's responsibility. You can also what we need to do is we need to organize groups to sometimes picking up the trash is a big job in some certain areas. We need to organize some groups to go out and clean up our rivers. I know the Illinois River really needs a lot of help down in the Tahlequah area, and the gathering place in Tulsa, y'all, is beautiful. And for anybody who hasn't been to it, please go. But also the Arkansas River. Yikes, it needs help. And the area that they've opened up recently where you can kind of walk down to the water, it's just trash everywhere. And it's so, so sad. Like, it's so horrible what we have done to our waterways and just the disrespect that we'll just leave our cups wherever we want and it just gets stuck in the water. It's really, really disrespectful. So we need to work on cleaning that up and then developing a culture where we collectively don't do things like that. We use the trash cans. Okay, and then also we want to be of service in a way that fits your talents and your lifestyle. How others are able to help may not be accessible to you, so find service actions that resonate with you and do not overextend yourself or your resources. And don't forget, as usual, we have a notes section at the end that you can add additional thoughts or anything you want to jot down or doodles, whatever works for you. And we will see you in the action module.